be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Second down, back to Sanders.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's got room. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Hurts. Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight, because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Well, he left this one out to the right. That's a bad miss. No good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Play fake. Here's Prescott.
That is caught by Lamb.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 28 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. The first carry now for Tony Pollard.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Off the play fake, Prescott.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. The Cowboys at 8-2 on the year. And they come in off a loss last time out, but still in the midst of a great season. Winners of 8 of their last 10.
And it always hurts when they lose a tight game, as they did a week ago. I think each player starts thinking to himself, if I could have played better one play here, one play there, maybe it could have changed this team's fortunes. But it absolutely illustrates how important it is to play a complete game if you want to win in the NFL.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On play action, Prescott. And that is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
And his kick here is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance when you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround. The first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you plan on Thanksgiving...
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll see he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. John Hightower now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week. And you can't do it all on one throw.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And some room to roam now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
91 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Another run with Sanders. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Throwing is Hurts.
Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on a passing play.
And this one complete to Smith.
3
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Goes right back to Smith again. And the Eagles are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Sanders will get down close to the goal line, but not in, and as he'll be marked down at the 1.
Only a yard on the pickup there, second and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Sanders again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Out of the end zone, here comes Hightower. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
That one good for 26 and a first down.
That's good for the Cowboys.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Pollard again. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. First down, Prescott.
Left side to Lamb.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Prescott.
This throw left side is caught by Tolbert.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And this is going to be intercepted.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
They're on 17-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they haven't had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll fake the give to Sanders. Now Hurts. This is Smith with a grab. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a...
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Damone Clark from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4. And nowhere to hide on that play.
No, there was not, because every exit door, that was surrounded. I think that was supposed to be a bootleg, but he had no chance to get outside the pocket and try and make a play.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. Smith will come in motion right. Here's Hurts to throw.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. He finds his man. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. On 1st and 10, Prescott. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Prescott off play action. Escaping the pressure right. Right back to Tolbert. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Prescott from the gun. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. To the air again, Prescott. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Pass to Tony Pollard out of the backfield. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28. Prescott now. It's caught. Tolbert. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. And he's got it. The try for 2 is successful, and it pushes the lead up to a field goal. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Okay, ready?
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They find some open field here. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
On 3rd down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the 1st down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Running right, here's Sanders. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Here's Sanders. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will tie things at 17 all.
So we're back to even after the short field goal. CD, you like the decision to kick it there?
Well, I'm glad you asked me if I like it and didn't ask me if I love it, because I'm not even sure I like it, but I do get it. First job on this drive, tie the game. They did that, but now they've got to put a challenge to their offense and say, can't settle for 3 anymore, guys. We've got to get the ball in the end zone from here on out.
Prescott on first down. He's got it complete to Tolbert. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
That's good.
Now Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bradley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 35 yards the gain there. Another first down as well.
As a general manager, you're counting on your first and second round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough. Play action now, Prescott. He'll buy some time right. He finds his target, it's Schultz.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
To throw again on second down. Prescott throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bradley. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the feet.
And he is into the end zone for the Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Cowboys have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Hurts.
his man complete over the middle. It's Brown.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
First down, Eagles.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get it behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And just like that, it's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
That's good for the Cowboys.
Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Complete to Jalen Tolbert. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. The Eagles 19-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. That's Foster hauling it in over the middle.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
That's good for a Cowboys.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Jalen Tolbert,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Cowboys look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now up to 14.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, Charles, you remember their last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, but you understand why they did in this close game late. Now, though, the road back is even tougher.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it was fair to look back and say the 4th down was the moment where this one was decided. But as you mentioned, understandable about why they went for it. But, hey, a lot of credit to the guys on the defensive side of the ball. They knew they'd have to defend, and that's...
There he goes, left side. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown. Fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Eagles have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
24.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. First down, and it's Pollard again. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over 1 minute to go in the game. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move.
And how about this, a fake? Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. And the Eaglesons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, sometimes the fake punts work out. They're fun, and you're so smart for doing it. And sometimes, Charles, what happens is an epic fail, and what we just saw was an epic fail.
And you're right about that, because the key here is the element of surprise. You have to catch a defense completely unaware that this might happen, this might occur. Unfortunately, somehow they tipped it off.
On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by Damone Clark.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Oh, what a nice tackle there. That will hardly move the needle at all offensively. A very short gain. Throwing is Hurts.
He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man, complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Cowboys, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here.
And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Eagles, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.